here's one thing I really respect about what you guys have built here is that the overall experience that you have built through your company was handed off to your daughter in a way that seemed to be extremely streamlined, like it's from an outsider's perspective anyway. And now this is your second book out. I swear I just interviewed you for your last book like 6 months ago.
It does feel like that.
Right. I think it was like actually a couple years ago when your publicist reached out. I was like, really? Again? Wow. You guys are just like, keep going.
You're really doing
keep
it.
going.
Yeah, we had the same reaction.
How do you maintain, and I'll kind of direct this one to Michael, how do you maintain the wheel of work here where now you're kind of shifting control over to Megan, but also still completely involved in everything and helping write more books and pushing the vision and stuff like that? How do you maintain that work ethic?
Well, I think that I've been able to focus more on my sweet spot. We call it the desire zone, where your passion and your proficiency come together. So kind of like we were talking before we started, that there's some things that you like in your business and other things that you don't like. Well, I get to focus on 100% of the time on the things that I really like. So 95% of my time is given to those things. And I have enormous confidence in Megan because there's so much overlap in our values. And we've been literally working professionally together since she was, 17?
It's like we share half of the same DNA.
Almost. Then we forget I'm adopted. No. Yeah. And so it's been really seamless and easy. She has 1,000% of my confidence, and I literally feel like now I'm working for her. So she's the CEO of the company. And so I don't dare do anything that I don't run by her. And we talk as partners and all the rest, but it's been pretty seamless. I mean, your perception of it is pretty much outwent.
Yeah. Yeah. How was it from your perspective coming through, like starting working at 17? Because obviously everything looked different at the company at that point.
Right.
Can you describe?
Well, this company didn't exist back then. So, in fact, the first experience I had with you professionally was when I was 8 years old.
Oh, I forgot about
And I went
this.
to a trade show with him. And he took me, I'm like thinking of
Was
my
this
own
with
kids.
Thomas Nelson?
This is with Thomas, well, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas Nelson. I'm thinking about, as a mom of 5 kids, taking one of my kids at 8 years old to do this. But like, I went to all the meetings with him. I had like my little dress and my little fancy shoes and probably a little bag of some kind. And I just got to sit at the table at all those conversations, which I think was great training. And that continued. Then in high school, I ran merch for a tour. You were a literary agent, and I ran merch for that tour that we went on together.
So you got thrown in the deep end.
Yep. We were living on a tour bus, and so that was kind of our first real experience together. And then in this business, we began in 2011. And so I joined in 2012 and did not with the idea that I would eventually become the CEO. I don't think either of us had that in mind. And
What were you doing at the time?
I was doing, well, at the exact time, I had decided to stay home with my kids for a period. I had just adopted 2 boys from Uganda.
Wow. And
I'd quit my job, which was in communications, and decided I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. And that lasted for about 9 months. And I decided, nope.
Did I hire you as a copywriter at first?
No, I was doing marketing.
Yeah.
So I think I probably did some copywriting in there. Yeah.
So
it really, though, as time has gone on, it's been awesome. One of the questions we get all the time is it really as good as it looks? And I was telling somebody yesterday, in fact, this relationship professionally and personally is easy. And that is not true with all experiences of working with family. I think it's
almost never true.
It's almost never true. And it really is as simple as it looks. I think we both just have a ton of respect for each other, and we communicate well.
I think one of the things that informed the transition too was that I had gone through some really bad transitions where I succeeded somebody that had a hard time letting go and made a mess of things. And I just thought to myself,
I don't want to be that guy.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. Well,
Especially not to my own daughter.
Exactly.
My husband was saying the other night, we were talking about it, and he said, I have never seen a founder who is able to step back and hand over control to somebody else and do it with as much confidence, but sense of completion. Like there's never been a moment where he's kind of tried to step back in and take some of what he gave me to be in charge of at all. And it's an amazing privilege on my part to have the benefit of that, but he's still very involved. He's still a resource to me. And at this point, we're partners, and I can't imagine a better partner.